All right, so I want to talk a little bit about the shooting that occurred with the ICE agent and that lady, and maybe talk some common sense. First, I haven't posted a video in a while. I don't know that I'm going to post that many videos to this channel again because honestly, it's taken up so much of my time, and I'm uh, I'm 51 years old right now, raising an 18-month-old baby. And I've got a full-time job, and it's just too much to put out the content. If I have more free time in the future, maybe I'll put up more videos. But let's dig into this video and what happened with the ICE agent. And I want to talk a little bit of common sense possibly here. But first, I want to analyze a video that recently came out by the New York Times. They analyzed a video. So I'm going to play the video and then sort of give my opinion on certain things. So here goes.
On Wednesday, in Minneapolis, a federal agent fatally shot a motorist, 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good. Trump administration officials said these were, quote, defensive shots, fired because the officer was being run over.
And a woman attacked them and those surrounding them and attempted to run them over.
But our analysis of bystander footage, filmed from different angles, appears to show the agent was not in the path of the victim's SUV when he fired 3 shots at close range. Here's how events unfolded. Moments before the shooting, the victim's maroon SUV is stopped in the middle of the street. Multiple unmarked federal vehicles are idling nearby.
Right now, I want you to pay attention to those multiple unmarked vehicles that soon will light up with their sirens and everything. They're really important, so pay attention to it where it says multiple unmarked vehicles. Take a look at those vehicles.
Street. Multiple unmarked federal vehicles are idling nearby. Secretary Noem alleged the motorist, quote, was blocking the officers in. Bystanders are blowing whistles and yelling at federal agents.
Go home to Texas!
Then, federal vehicles start moving toward the maroon SUV, with sirens and lights blaring. A federal agent films the scene on his phone.
So a quick interjection that I just want to put in right here, and that is it says a federal agent films the scene on his phone. Well, in the One Big Beautiful Bill Act that we just recently passed, that is estimated to cost U.S. taxpayers $3.8 trillion, with much of that going to the Department of Homeland Security. And my only concern here with this is if we are willing to spend that much money, $3.8 trillion, can we not get the ICE agents body cams so they don't have to use their cell phones? Just seems a little logical to me.
A federal agent films the scene on his phone. The driver rolls forward slightly, turning left, then stops and waves for others to go ahead.
It's another little pause right quick, and that is I asked you to pay attention to those vehicles, those unmarked vehicles. Watch this again and see what vehicles she stops to allow them to pass. Now, Noam said that she was blocking traffic, but is it really blocking traffic if you're waving to give them the right of way? I don't know what put her vehicle in that position, and, possibly she shouldn't have been there in the first place. But clearly, if she was waving the vehicles on, she was allowing the ICE agents to have the right of way and pass her.
The driver rolls forward slightly, turning left, then stops and waves for others to go ahead. 2 agents exit this silver pickup and walk toward the vehicle. Moments later, shots are fired. Let's look at the scene again more closely. This is the agent who shoots the driver. He walks around the car filming and disappears from view.
Another interjection here, and that he walks around the vehicle and he disappears from view. Well, it appears that he walks around the vehicle and puts himself in front of the vehicle. Now, I think it's worth noting that law enforcement are trained not to put themselves directly in front of a vehicle. I've heard multiple times from people who essentially are justifying this, that if you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And that is true. But it's also true that 2 things can be true at the same time. While perhaps she shouldn't have been there and put herself in that position and she played a stupid game, had she have run over the officer, was he playing a stupid game by putting himself in the position that he was in and not following training by maneuvering himself in front of the vehicle?
This is the agent who shoots the driver. He walks around the car filming and disappears from view. Other agents pull up and order the driver to exit her vehicle. One of them grabs at the door handle and reaches inside. The SUV reverses, then turns right, apparently attempting to leave. At the same time, the agent filming crosses toward the left of the vehicle and grabs his gun. He opens fire on the motorist and continues shooting as she drives past.
Okay, so one last thing that I want to point out here is it appears that while her vehicle wheels are turned to the left, he's to the right of the vehicle, and as she turns to the right, he is to the left, and at no given point does it appear that he's in direct path of her vehicle. But, I could be wrong, and your interpretation could be different. I'm not here to say this directly one way or another, who is right or who is wrong. I just want to speak to the facts and to the law. And there are some precedents set in the law, specifically Tennessee versus Garner in the United States Supreme Court in 1985, which set the precedent here and set the law, which essentially stated that they did not have a right to attempt to force her to stop when she decided to flee. They should have allowed her to go. That's the law. We like to say that we're a nation of law and order, but sometimes I feel like it's only when the laws apply that we like. Clearly, this woman protesting did not like the laws that were being applied, and so she didn't like the law. And when I put out the Supreme Court law, I think there's probably going to be some people watching this video that says, well, I don't like that. They should have a right to shoot her. But according to the law, they didn't. And I'll post a screenshot from the Department of Justice website, which indicates that they didn't either. It's just the law, and I'm here to state the facts and state it for what it is. And lastly, I'm going to let you guys watch the rest of this video. But if you feel like I've been calm, level-headed, and possibly stated a few facts that you hadn't thought of, like the body cams, or like the fact that she stopped and let the vehicles go, or anything like that, and you feel like, hey, you know what, I hadn't thought of that, maybe share this video, because I really would like to see this nation think things more logically. And it's never a good day when a U.S. citizen is getting shot in the face by law enforcement, whether it's justified or not. And we really need to take this moment seriously. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the video if you want to watch it, and talk to you guys later.
The moment the agent fires, he is standing here, to the left of the SUV, and the wheels are pointing to the right, away from the agent. This appears to conflict with allegations that the SUV was ramming or about to ram the officer. President Trump and others said the federal agent was hit by the SUV, often pointing to another video filmed from a different angle. And it's true that at this moment in this grainy low-resolution footage, it does look like the agent is being struck by the SUV. But when we synchronize it with the first clip, we can see the agent is not being run over. In fact, his feet are positioned away from the SUV. The SUV crashes into a white car parked down the road. A bystander runs toward the collision. The federal agents on scene do not appear to rush to provide emergency medical care. Eventually, the agent who shot the motorist approaches the vehicle. Seconds later, he turns back around and tells his colleagues to call 911.
Shame! You shot someone! You shot someone!
Agents block several bystanders who attempt to provide medical care, including one who identifies himself as a physician.
I go check a pulse!
No! Back up! Now!
I'm a physician!
I don't care!
At the same time, several agents, including the agent who opened fire, get in their vehicles and drive off, apparently altering the active crime scene.